Hello, it's Tuesday and it's the final Tuesday in September, which means it's time for me to talk about my September favourites. You know how sometimes in my favourites videos I talk about TV quite a lot? Well, this is going to be one of those ones. So let's start with the TV shows I have loved this month. Let's get them over with. Firstly, Strike, which finished on BBC One a couple of weeks ago. This is a detective drama about a private detective called Cormoran Strike, played by Tom Burke, and his new assistant, played by Holliday Grainger. It's based on the books by J.K. Rowling, writing as Robert Galbraith, and I enjoyed it. 2 books have been adapted so far, The Cuckoo's Calling and Silkworm, and there's more to come apparently, which I'm happy about. But yeah, check it out if you can. The stories aren't groundbreaking, but it was an entertaining show and I liked the characters. Secondly, The Crystal Maze, which I think I've talked about in a favourites video before. There were some celebrity specials earlier on in the year and it has now returned with members of the public. I used to watch it as a kid when it was hosted by Richard O'Brien and I don't remember that much about it because I must have been quite young, but I do remember that I liked it a lot, and I also remember that it was on a lot. But now it has returned with Richard Ayoade hosting and I love it. It's very funny, his interactions with the contestants for instance. It's another show that I really enjoy and look forward to watching. Now, Astronauts, do you have what it takes? There's 1 episode left of this show and I'm really going to miss it when it goes. A group of very well qualified contestants, they all have PhDs and master's degrees and they're very clever, go through a series of tasks to see if they have what it takes to be an astronaut, and they're judged by some other very qualified people including Chris Hadfield. I think it's an excellent show, very high quality. It must have been quite expensive to make and I find it very interesting for a variety of different reasons. Firstly, it's interesting to see the sort of skills that are required to be an astronaut and the sort of training that astronauts go through, and also the whole competition aspect is interesting as well. I like to think about what tasks I would be good at and what tasks I would be terrible at, and I'm also often surprised by which contestants do well in which tasks. I really enjoy the show and I think it's one of my favourite programmes that has been on TV this year. And finally, in TV shows, I felt like I had to mention The Great British Bake Off. It has returned, it is now on Channel 4 instead of the BBC. I do miss Mel and Sue and Mary Berry, but I really like Noel Fielding and Sandy Toksvig and Prue Leith. And I think we have a really good bunch of contestants this year as well. And now on anime, this month I watched Attack on Titan. There have been 2 series of this so far and I have watched both of them. I believe a 3rd series is in the works. This is the first kind of fantastical anime that I have watched. Attack on Titan is set in the future and it's the first anime I've seen where, you know, it's been like a new world for me to learn about. And in this world there are big kind of giants called Titans and humanity lives within a series of walls to protect themselves from them. It's an interesting show. There are some fantastic characters and ideas. I found it a little patchy. I went through groups of episodes where I loved the show so much and I wanted to know what happened next all the time and it was really exciting and I was very invested in the world and the characters and the story. And then there were other groups of episodes where I was not so invested, or where a plot twist would happen and it felt a lot like a previous plot twist, or where I just didn't feel like the story was moving particularly quickly. But I still think that it was a fantastic anime and I'm really glad I watched it and I'm looking forward to seeing the next series. Now, a film, I haven't watched that many films this month, but my favourite has been Arrival. This is a sci-fi film. 12 spaceships sort of land on Earth. They're sort of hovering just above Earth and humanity is trying to communicate with them and learn what their purpose is and protect themselves. And we focus on the US and a linguistics expert played by Amy Adams who's trying to learn their language and teach them her language so that they can converse together. I thought this was a really good, high quality film, interesting premise, and it wasn't too long either. It was under 2 hours, which was a plus. It was a good film, I'd recommend seeing it. Now, a present. My dad made me a drinks mat with a mouse on it. Isn't it great? It was made by wood burning. It's an actual mouse mat. And finally, a purchase. As you may know already, this month I bought myself the Lego BB-8. Isn't it great? It was so much fun to build. I love the end result. I love how the head bobbles. I'm in the process of editing the video in which I build this and also review the process and the final result. It might be up on Thursday, but it might be up in a week or 2 because it's quite a lot of footage. But if you're interested in learning more about my Lego BB-8, then yeah, stick around because a video will be coming soon. Relatively soon. So, those are my favourite things from this month. Do you have any thoughts on them? I'd love to know what some of your favourite things have been this September. Let's move across to the end screen. Tomorrow, the 27th of September, I will be having a live stream on this channel at 7 PM BST, so maybe see you then. If there are any problems, I will let you know via social media and my website, but hopefully it'll be fine. If you'd like to see my latest video and some more favourites videos, you can do so below me here. And if you fancy subscribing subscribing to my channel or visiting my website, then you can do so beside me here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow.